Hey guys, my name is Charlie with GFC. Today I'm going to show you how to seal the seams on your SuperLite. All right, so the tools you're going to need to do this are obviously the seam grip as well as some gloves. You are going to be using your hands a little bit with this stuff, so it is nice to have some gloves for that. We also have masking tape as well as electrical tape. We'll get into why that is a little bit later. It's also nice to have some alcohol and a rag just to clean up any drops you make. All right, so the first step of this process is to mask everything off. You're going to want to mask off the seam with just a little bit of space on either side so that you're able to fully seal all of that. We're using two different kinds of tape here with the masking tape underneath the electrical tape. This is because the masking tape is able to stick to the material of the SuperLite a little bit better, while the electrical tape is able to repel the seam sealer a little bit better. The tape is mostly for aesthetics. The seal will work without it. So if you don't care about aesthetics at all, you can skip this step and just put the seam sealer on straight away. All right, so next we're gonna put our masking tape down. It's really important to make sure that the inside seam of this tape is really well stuck down. So you're gonna really wanna press down on that. You're going to want to leave the seam with a little bit of space on either side, and make sure to leave a gap so that the seam sealer can actually get under this seam a little bit and seal that all off. All right, so now that the masking tape is down, we are going to put our electrical tape over it. This just helps the seam sealer not seep through the masking tape at all, so that you get a nice even line. All right, now that you've got all of your seams masked off, it's a good time to just go over and give them all one last check to make sure that inside edge is really stuck on there. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and put your gloves on. All right, once you've done all that, it is now time to use your seam sealer. We do recommend that you do this either outside or somewhere where there's airflow. We have our door open. This stuff is sort of toxic. So that being said, you're gonna just wanna get a little bit of this stuff and slowly drop it on, and then rub it into that seam, really making sure to get it underneath this edge right here. All right, so when you get to these loops, you're gonna wanna make sure to pick these up and get all of the seam sealer underneath the loops. All right, so once you're satisfied with how much you've put on and it doesn't look like there's any dry spots or anything, it's a good time to just go over and make sure that there's no other holes in your SuperLite or anywhere else that's been leaking. You can use this stuff to seal up any of that. Once you're done with the seam grip, you can go back through with some alcohol and a rag and try and wipe up any splotches or anything that you've missed. This stuff does stain a little bit, but if you're able to get the majority of it off, it comes off pretty well. Now that we're done with everything, we're just gonna let this sit and cure for a little while. Cure time is around 8 hours, but we're gonna give it about a full day to just fully cure. So we'll check in with you tomorrow. All right, it is now tomorrow, so we're back and we're just gonna go ahead and peel up all this tape. So once you've gone around and you've peeled up all this tape, you're just gonna wanna go over and make sure that you've gotten good coverage over all the seams and that it's gotten under all the seams and that you just aren't missing any spots. Once you're done peeling up all that tape, you're done. That's how you seal the seams on your SuperLite.